We've got an election in the month. Voters have to decide. Democrats are working to bring down the cost of things and to talk about around the kitchen table, from prescription drugs to health insurance to energy bills and so much more. If Republican wins, inflation is going to get worse. It's that simple.
No, it's not, actually. During the conversation all morning long, Fox Business's Dagan McDowell, Fox News contributor and author of Come On, Man, Joe Contra, and Through the Cycle President John Lonsky. It's actually quite simple, Dagan. Too many dollars chasing too few goods equals 40-year high inflation, and that would be the Democrats doing. Your thoughts?
Yes. Before Joe Biden took office, and again, the Democrats controlled the Senate, well, because of Kamala Harris, the House and the White House. In December of 2020, inflation was at 1.4%.
That's right.
And the economy was growing at a 4.5% clip. And right on Inauguration Day, gasoline in this country was below $3 a gallon. And so why are we in this place today where the economy is contracting, where we have core prices are at a new 40-year high, and gasoline is back on the rise? Oh, yeah, it's down from the new record, a few months ago, more than $5 a gallon. But all of this is because of the Democrats. And now who runs the Fed? But he's a Democrat nominee, and he's a Democrat appointment. That's Jay Powell. And so for him to say that, again, he's gasping for air here, because he's got nothing left to say if this is the tack he's taking. Can I just show the front page of the New York Post?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lies, damned lies, and Joe Biden about inflation. 8.2% inflation. There you go.
Well, I mean, I think that he knows that this has occurred on his watch, and he knows that all of the spending has stoked inflation, but he's just misinforming. I mean, I don't think he's unaware of how we got here. He's misinforming, as he does over and over again. What do you think?
You're being generous with misinforming. It is lying directly to the American people.
Yeah.
Where apparently he was trying to look into the bright side of the moon with the whole squinting thing. That was very unsettling to watch during his visit to Los Angeles yesterday. And he knows he could get away with this, perhaps, because many in the press run cover for this president. Let me read you Politico's headline. Why the Fed and Biden won't proclaim mission accomplished even as inflation eases. Eases to what? 8.2%? To Dagan's point, that's 6 times higher than it was under his predecessor. And you look at these prices, Maria. Public transportation up 27.1%, health insurance up 28%, eggs up 30%, air travel 42%, bread 14%, milk 15%, chicken 17%. That doesn't sound like 2% to me. Yeah. And the American people know it, and they'll let their voices be heard come the midterms in November, because this is easily by far the #1 issue impacting this election.
It sure is, John. Following yesterday's CPI report, the president said he's made progress on inflation. He writes this: inflation over the last 3 months has averaged 2%. At an annualized rate that's down from 11% in the prior quarter. What is he talking about? I mean, you just mentioned all those items. Eggs were up in price last quarter 40%. Eggs this quarter, this month, up 30%. So, I mean, we're talking about prices that are cutting into people's wages just to go buy breakfast.
Yeah, wages are so important. They're growing by only, 5.2% annually, 5%, something close to that, while CPI is up 8.2%. So the American consumer is suffering from what is now a 19th-month-long erosion of real purchasing power. And I will tell you right now, the year-to-year decline by the real wage is the deepest since 1990. Coincidentally, we had a recession in 1990, and the 2 previous times we had the real wage down by more than 2% annually, we suffered recessions.
Yeah.
So that's in the pipeline.
Dagan, the top op-ed in the Journal this morning, inflation, and they're talking about a lower standard of living, but they put it on Congress. I would put it on the Democrats largely. Your thoughts?
It's Congress, the Democrats in Congress, and it's the Democrats coming out of the White House, because a lot of what is extremely inflationary did not come out of Congress. It came straight out of the White House.
Yeah, that's true.
So the extension, one of the most inflationary things that they've done is the extension over and over again of the moratorium on making student loan payments, not just the debt forgiveness, but they extended it in April of this year when inflation was, March inflation, it was at 8.5%. And they extended again through the end of the year. These are stimulus checks, in essence, that are going to rich people. This is a counter-effective policy coming out of the White House, not just it's Congress, it's the White House. And I said this yesterday that $2 trillion stimulus that was passed in the early part of Biden's administration, that is still being spent today recklessly by states from coast to coast. So you have a Federal Reserve that literally is going to destroy the housing market and destroy any credit-related or industry in this country because the Democrats and Joe Biden are not helping the Fed fight that inflation. They're making it worse.
And this is a point Jason Smith made, ranking member on the House Budget Committee, several months ago, said to me, no, inflation has not peaked because much of the money from the COVID relief package has not even been allocated yet. And now we're seeing it being allocated in different states differently.